Now, there is nothing more important than keeping your family safe, of course, but would you know what to do with the few seconds you had to stop a grease fire from spreading? Or how to prevent your identity from being stolen online? Today, we're covering it all. One of the first things I do every day is check the weather. But how do you prepare when there's severe weather in the forecast? Weather expert Frankie Ferragine joins us now. Wackier as the years go by, and we need to be prepared for whatever may be coming. It doesn't even matter what season it is.
It doesn't matter.
You don't know what's coming your way.
Yeah, 12 months of the year we have severe weather occurrences, and they can range from anything from a record snowfall to extreme cold temperatures to hurricanes to tornadoes to cyclones and other hemispheres as well. So, we really do need to be prepared.
Right.
A lot of the times what it really comes down to is, number one, just making sure you know what to wear on that given day, because even on a classic day, kids can still be at threat, especially when it comes to cold weather. So we'll talk a little bit about cold weather first and some of the winter things that happens out there. I want to describe wind chill to you first off, because wind chill can cause frostbite. And a lot of times people are like, well, what is wind chill? And that's what it feels like. So I want to give me your hand and go as close as you can to my hand.
Yeah.
Go very close. Can you feel the warmth off?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can feel. That's
we have chemistry, Frankie. We totally like, look at that. Can you feel it? So good. But yeah, you feel the warmth.
That's the insulating factor around your body.
Okay.
So as soon as you start getting cold winds in the winter time that are blowing, that insulating factor is removed and that temperature actually feels colder. Okay. So when we're getting down into wind chills where we have about -30, we're getting below 0 Fahrenheit, that's when all of a sudden we can get frostbite, and frostbite can be very harmful. That's why we want to make sure the #1 spot that you want to cover.
Cover the head.
Yeah,
all of your heat is leaving out of your head, so you've got to cover it. That's why hats are crucial.
Yeah, and making sure that you just dress right, that you just, snow pants, even as an adult. If you're going to be outside for extended periods of time, winter boots.
Yeah,
and then
waterproof.
Slip factors that happen during the winter time with ice. So you want to make sure not only you're using the right ice melters, because some ice melters can cause more harm even to your concrete. So you want to make sure you're selecting the right ice melters that you have out there. Yeah. And probably one of the biggest threats in winter is shoveling. Shoveling itself.
Yes.
People often forget that this is a physical activity that you're doing, and they decide on themselves, I had a record snowfall, I'm going to go out there and shovel all these neighbors, and that's when we have the greatest occurrence of heart attacks.
We do, because here's the thing. You're sweating at the end of shoveling your driveway. There's a reason why you're sweating. It's because you just engaged in physical activity.
Right.
It's serious if you've been sitting down all week or sitting at a desk at work all week, and this is the first thing you're doing. You really, you've got to stretch. Yeah. What do you do before you shovel?
Before you shovel, you got to stretch. You also got to make sure that you hydrate yourself, and sometimes do it in small bits. If you don't have a snowblower or something like that, you want to go out and do it for a little period of time, take a rest. And if it's even some of the taller snows that you have, the heavier snowfall, forgive me, you want to make sure that you're using different snow removal devices as well. Some of them are where you're just going to take a section out. A lot of times people, when they shovel, they're lifting and throwing. Yeah. That's when you can actually cause back difficulties and problems on your own body. You can throw your back out and cause a lot of problems.
What should you be doing? You shouldn't lift and throw. We've done this before.
Usually what you should be doing is pushing.
You push.
So you push, and at the end,
push it out of the way.
You push it out of the way. That's the easiest way to do that. And remember that when you have a plastic snow shovel like this, it'll slide. Yeah. Some snow shovels that are steel on the bottom will actually catch. Right. And as a man, I've had it done before where it's like, whoo! And then you're like,
catches in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're like, woo! That was
no!
That was my Michael Jackson.
Listen, that's general winter. I want to start to get more into the extreme weather, like an ice storm or even a flood or a hurricane or tornado. What do we need to know about those extreme weather patterns?
First, with ice storms, if you get the opportunity to get an arborist to check your property. By doing that, you're going to find any of those big branches that could be affected by an ice storm with a heavy weight that then could break and fall, not only causing property damage, but a tree branch coming off a tree can kill somebody.
That's right.
That's number one. With some of the other ones that are happening in terms of, let's talk about hurricanes themselves.
Let's talk about hurricanes. What are you supposed to do if you find out that a hurricane is coming to your neighborhood, your city?
First off, track the weather, and they're really good at these weather patterns. If you're looking at a hurricane and you actually see that where it shows the path, and there's almost that little variable, those two lines. That's where it can veer either way.
Yeah.
If they're telling you to evacuate, make sure that you do evacuate. It's really important that you do, and that you have a plan in place, that you talk to your family about. If we're going to evacuate, we have all our documentation with us.
Yes.
We have all those necessities with us, and a lot of the times you want to make sure that you have even supplies. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show.
Okay.
For at least 72 hours.
Okay.
I want to talk about rain because, you know, we often think about some of the things out there, and if you want to walk by me to the other side of the door there.
Heavy rain can be detrimental.
Heavy rain, but why is a rain jacket better than an umbrella?
I would say for lightning.
You got it.
Lightning storms.
So, you know, a raincoat is what is probably the best thing to protect against wet weather.
Yes.
But lightning is really harmful, and anything, it's always going to attack the tallest thing that's out there.
Yes.
So if you have an umbrella and you're the tallest thing, boom, you're going to get hit by lightning.
And it actually does happen. I mean, you don't have a good chance of being hit by lightning, but it actually does happen. People with umbrellas can be struck.
And a lot of times people decide, hey, there's lightning, there's rain, I'm going to go underneath the tree. Another bad
Don't
thing
go
to get
under
away.
the tree.
You don't want to do that.
Where do you want to go?
You
for
want to
lightning?
get inside if you can.
Get inside.
If you can't, let's say that if you're a child and you're walking home from school and you're caught, you'd want to try, and and as soon as you're starting to hear thunder closer and closer, and that means that the distance between, the time between thunder is indicating how close. So the closer that is, the closer the lightning. Just let you know, thunder, if you hear thunder, there's lightning somewhere.
Right.
Lightning
You might not see it, but it's there.
Lightning doesn't need thunder, but thunder needs lightning.
Right.
But you want to get the lowest place. So if you're caught out in a field, you want to get low. So you want to make sure that you're at the lowest point, and that's going to be the safest point out there.
Okay.
Stay in your car.
I was going to say, do you get in the car?
Yeah, stay in your car because it's grounded. You got it. It's grounded.
All right.
You know, I've had friends hit by lightning. I actually had a friend's father killed by lightning because he was out cutting in a field, cutting cabbage in a field, had a knife in his back pocket.
Yeah.
The lightning hit the knife in the back, and he died.
That is brutal.
It really is.
It is. You think, oh my gosh, this isn't going to happen to me, but what would you do? You know, when you start seeing the lightning, what do you do? What is the first thing you think about? So get low, get in a car if you can, get home is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about floods. So
floods, you know, you're driving. Let's say that you're in a situation where you're evacuating out of a hurricane. You're driving and all of a sudden you see water. Do you drive through that water? A lot of the times I would recommend trying to go around it because in as little as 1 foot or 30 centimeters of water, that's only about that much water.
Yeah.
That's when a car would actually start to lift and move.
So does it have to be above the tire then? Is it the water just above the tire?
Just above the tire, depending upon the vehicle.
It's not that high.
No, some of the taller vehicles, of course, you get a little bit more flexibility with that. But a lot of the times you don't know how much water is there. So let's say that we get, and this is my worst nightmare of all time. My worst nightmare of all time. Let's say that all of a sudden we get caught in a circumstance where maybe we're in an icy situation where there's still open water. We veer off a road and we get into a lake and or a canal.
Yeah.
We're in a car, and this is a tool that I carry in my car. This is the exact one from my car.
Okay.
What's great about this is it has a hammer that can break a window, and at the same time, this back here, right there, that little lip that we have on the outside right there, that is to cut a seatbelt.
Ah, you've got your seatbelt cutter.
Yeah.
You've got something that's going to get through glass. Keep in mind, most of our cars are electric now.
Yeah.
So if that car goes off and is derailed and is underwater, there's absolutely no way to get out unless you have a tool like that. And then the pressure of the water is going to make it even harder. You can't kick that window. As strong as I am, it's not going to work with my heel. So
we're just going to do.
This is what we would use.
So we're on the inside of the car, but we'll do it from the outside. And the other part too, where we may break a window like this, let's say on a hot day, we often forget that heat kills.
Yeah.
That on a hot day, if a child is left in a car, a dog is left in a car, that's the other reason why I have this. I don't care. If you see me out there and you left your dog or your child in a car on a hot day,
you're breaking
I'm breaking your window.
Yes,
I'm breaking your window. That's what I'm doing.
You almost have a civic duty.
You're going to want to go. You can go anywhere on the window. You want to go to, basically on the corner is the best spot. You don't need a lot of pressure, but give it a little bit of pressure.
I'm going to go right here and see.
Yeah.
To do it. So once this actually shatters, Frankie, it's going to be easier for you to throw an elbow or a foot through it. I mean, listen, it's not the best case scenario that you've got to get through shattered glass and you're underwater, but this might save your life.
And just let you know, the reason why the corners are the weakest, this is tempered glass. You see how the glass is shattered right now, but it's remained intact, so it's not going to fall on you, cause any problem?
Yeah.
The corners are the weakest point on the window. And so you may have to tap it a couple times, but look at that. There you go. You can get out of this car.
That's amazing. Okay, and that's what you use for the seatbelt. Woo! That was like, wow. At least there's something, though. It's knowledge is power, right?
Yeah.
And there's something that you can do if you're in one of these situations. Thank you so much to you, Frankie, for that.